Auburn's a weird team going into 2024. Like, can we just openly admit that at this point? The last 12 months have been perplexing to say the least. They played down to the wire against Georgia and Alabama, yet get blown out by New Mexico State. Finish with the top 10 recruiting class, land really good transfers in the portal. Hugh Freeze is now the offensive play caller. They land DJ Durkin, and they could be anywhere between a 10-2 roster going to the college football playoff or finishing 6-6 with losses to Cal. Like, that's Auburn going into this year. But we're starting a new series here titled X Factor, where every team will be determined by one player, coach, or coordinator for their success or downfall. Some of these lists were really hard to come up with. Auburn was not one of them. There is one reason why this team will be successful or be tormented in 2024. It's Payton Thorne. What's going on, SEC Unfiltered? It's Cole Thompson here. Make sure that you like the video and hit the ring notification. That way you don't miss a single episode of SECU, because we're talking college football every single day leading up to week 1 and well throughout the chaotic 2024 season. Download the podcast version of the show. Leave a 1-star review if you hate this type of content. 5-star review if you love this type of content. Make sure that also you're following us on all the social media channels: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at SEC Unfiltered. Follow me on my own YouTube channel at Mr. Cole Thompson. Follow me on social media at Mr. Cole Thompson. And to keep up with the #1 content surrounding your favorite team, visit SECUnfiltered.com. This episode is brought to you by RHOBACK.com. Use the promo code SECU for 20% off all joggers, polos, hoodies, and shorts. Promo code SECU at RHOBACK.com for 20% off. Tell the good folks at SECU sent you. Payton Thorne wears #1. He was the #1 headache last year. He was the #1 reason for optimism and also the #1 reason for detriment. Like, literally, Payton Thorne was everything to do with #1. And it's interesting because if he's going to be that again this year. Hugh Freeze chose not to go into the portal and spend $1 million+ on a quarterback because he kind of realized, well, we're not a quarterback away. I don't think many people believe that Auburn is going to win the national title, go to Atlanta twice this year, then run through the college football playoff to win a championship. I don't think many people believe that, but I do believe that they think Auburn is going to be better, and Auburn should be better. I've called them on multiple occasions on this channel a coin flip team, where there are about 5 or 6 games where easily I could see Auburn walking away with the win, or I could see them dropping it because of a miscommunication, a false start, a interception thrown in the red zone with 20 seconds left. Whatever it is, that's Auburn. But Hugh Freeze has taken over the offense. They've upgraded. They've added in some really good players. Keandre Lambert-Smith comes on over from Penn State. That's a reliable pass catcher across the middle of the field. They also bring in Cam Coleman and Perry Thompson at wide receiver. 2 5-stars that might end up being 5 reasons why we are talking about the Tigers in 2025 being a college football playoff contender, maybe even a national championship contender. They bring in some guys that have experience playing in high-profile games. Isaiah Rakes, who at one point was at Texas A&M. Jaron Thompson comes on over in the secondary from Texas. They got some dudes. None of that matters if it isn't up to Payton Thorne. And the thing with Payton Thorne is, you saw last year where there were moments of optimism, whether it was him as a runner, whether it was him as a passer, whether it was him just trying to find ways to evade the pressure and keep a drive alive. There were moments where he actually wasn't the worst thing to ever come through Toomer's corner. But there also were the moments where you sat there and said, why are you not making a change? Hugh Freeze is not making a change. The change he made this offseason instead of that quarterback was, I'm going to call the plays, and I'm going to build this offense however I see fit that is going to cater towards Thorne's strengths, to where when he is out there, there's little reason to believe he can't get the job done. And the one thing that you have to hold your hat on if you are a Payton Thorne supporter, I'm not saying I am or I'm not, is that Payton Thorne did lead a high-profile program in a major conference to a major New Year's Six Bowl win. He did. Those are just facts. Did he actually throw for over 3,000 yards? Yeah. Did he rush for over 800 yards? Yeah. Did he have a really good supporting cast around him, including a future NFL running back, including 2 future NFL wide receivers, and a quality tight end and decent offensive line? Yeah. I also just kind of explained Auburn a little bit this upcoming year. High-profile running back in Jarquez Hunter, really good weapon in Rivaldo Fairweather at tight end. Keandre Lambert-Smith could make it to the NFL. If the trajectory says as advertised, Cam Coleman's going to be the first wide receiver on the plane since Y2K to get 1,000 yards in a single season, and the offensive line is not abysmal. It's actually pretty decent overall when you look at what's returning this year. So there's no excuse, none whatsoever. And the only excuse that you would have is that you aren't ready to open up with the other quarterbacks behind him. I get what Hugh Freeze was saying from the get-go about not bringing in a quarterback. Anybody out there that believes that they had to get a quarterback this offseason doesn't know where Auburn resides in the grand scheme of things. Are they a good team? Yeah. Would they be a great team with a quarterback that was available in the second wave of the portal? Probably not. And they weren't interested in adding in a quarterback during the first wave because they were too busy trying to recruit at a top 10 level, land premier players that are going to be built for the long haul. Hugh Freeze has the offensive identity and the personality that is going to attract the right names to the Plains. I 100% believe that. The question is, and the question that has been for a while, can this offense work for the current staff that's returning? That's where Payton Thorne resides. They got games that are going to be, I think, toss-ups. I've already mentioned this, coin flip games. They don't have to really worry the first month. Here's the good news, but also when you think about where this Auburn team is, they're going to be playing a lot of freshmen, not because they want to, because of necessity. They're all at home. Like at least they get to play at Jordan-Hare, which is a very hostile atmosphere when it wants to be, against Alabama A&M, Cal, New Mexico, Arkansas, and Oklahoma before they have their first real test on the road against Georgia. And maybe that's a loss. But also, this will be a moment where Perry Thompson gets a step up, where Cam Coleman gets a step up, where you get to see more of Fairweather, where you get to see the running backs behind Hunter take that step forward, where you get to see the defense, those young edge rushers take flight and crouch the quarterbacks. But it doesn't matter if your quarterback isn't up to par. There's some names that are sitting in the wings waiting and hoping and maybe pleading that Payton Thorne will stink, but at the same time, you want consistency at the position, and Thorne is the most consistent when it comes to reps. There's this thing called experience where the only way you get it is by playing, and you're going to have some rocky roads ahead when you don't get there. That's one of the biggest blessings and curses for any team that is implementing a new quarterback. Thorne's got over 30 games under his belt of starting. Whether that's good or bad is not the point. The point is that he's got 30 games. Everyone else doesn't. And if you think that Auburn can be that team that leans more so in favor of the 10-2, 9-3 record than the 7-5, 6-6 record, Thorne's your best bet. They have good weapons. They have up-and-coming weapons. They have promising pieces in play for Thorne, just like they had in East Lansing in 2021 when he led a program to a Peach Bowl victory. They have that. Now the question is Thorne able to live up to the competition in the SEC like he was in the Big Ten? Because if this is the X factor for Auburn, if Thorne is anywhere near the reincarnation of his 2021 version, at least you can say you will be in games. You will play the spoiler role. You will hurt some programs in their path to the postseason. But if not, you might be talking up about those toss-up games more so like an 80-20 catch radius. It's not really in your favor. But let me know in the comment section down below, who is your X factor for Auburn going into 2024? Is it Payton Thorne? Is it Hugh Freeze calling the offense? Is it DJ Durkin taking over the defense or a high-profile defensive player? Like, rate, review, subscribe, hit the comment section. Also, make sure that you follow us on all the social media channels at SEC Unfiltered, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the podcast version of the show on Google Play, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast listening systems. Follow me on social media at Mr. Cole Thompson and my own YouTube channel at Mr. Cole Thompson. And to keep up with the #1 content surrounding your favorite conference, the #1 conference in all of college athletics, visit SECUnfiltered.com. Until next time, folks, until next time, Auburn fans, I'm Cole Thompson. Later.